The Doux finally came out with a vegan friendly gel, so you know I had to go and pick it up. The gel we are talking about today is the Block Party Gel by the Doux. This one had a lot of claims, so let's get into it. But first, hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel. So I picked up this gel during Black Friday. It was a Black Friday drop. It's still available. Of course, it's not an exclusive or limited edition product. And I did pay full price because, of course, they're not going to put it in a sale on the day that it comes out. That being said, the claims, okay, they said that it is a firm hold, long lasting definition, frizz control, shine, no flaking or buildup, and humidity resistance. So we had a lot of stuff to test out with this one. Diving right into the styling, okay, first thing I noticed was the smell. It kind of smelled like if you bite into an apple or a pear and then you like hold it in your hand a little bit. This like fruit smell. I'm just not really sure exactly which fruit, but one of those two fruits more likely. And then mixed with that was like a smell of soap, a soap smell, like hand soap at the sink. That's what's going on. The prevailing scent, the strongest scent is the soap one for sure. In my hands when I was applying it to my hair, as per the directions, which is to apply just this to the hair, no other product, soaking wet. It definitely was very thick feeling. I could feel a definite presence of it on my hands and like it was thick as I was putting it in my hair. Not thick in a way is that it didn't spread well, but I definitely was like, I would have liked to maybe have added a little bit of water to this or something to further help the distribution, but not that it wouldn't spread. I don't know if that's going to make any sense or translate, but that's what I'm saying and I'm sticking with it. So that leads me to the wet results. I felt like the wet results of my hair, they were kind of frizzy still. So, yes, I was able to glide the comb through, but I felt like as I was styling it, it felt kind of messy and disorganized because my hair was not like coming apart as easily as it would because it was just kind of frizzy. So before I even dried it, I was like, yeah, this is not going to be the most defined wash and go ever in the world. And I was right. Looking at the day one results, my hair definitely dried with a little bit of frizz. It was definitely a little frizzy. Um, it was shiny though. I will say that it did have shine, a shine that definitely was more so focused on day one. So I will give them that. I definitely did have hair that was shiny, but it just wasn't as defined. I also did not like the way that my hair felt. It was just something about the way that the hair felt just wasn't, it didn't feel very nice, very supple, anything like that. Little crusty feeling. Wasn't in love with that. Um, and then just like a reaction is my husband that day, like I literally had done my hair dried and everything, and he made a comment that I think he thought that I had not styled my hair. He was like, "Oh, are you gonna go style your hair?" I was like, "What do you?" I did my hair, so he thought that I had not styled my hair at all, guys. If that gives you any idea, because I feel like on camera this wash and go looks way better on camera than it did in real life. And I even tried to take a picture for like the channel members to show them, and it still didn't quite translate. So it looked better on camera and in photo than it did in person. Okay. So here's the deal. This product has humidity claims, right? And I mean, we're in the winter months now, obviously. So I I couldn't test this out by just going outside. Okay. So without going into a full lesson on humidity and stuff like that, as a former science teacher, I can definitely go there. You want to look at the dew point, right? A dew point of 60 is comfortable, right? You're not going to really detect or perceive it as humid at 60, right? It's great. Once you get above 60, that's when you'll start to get a little bit of humidity and like effect to your hair. Below 60, you would definitely say it's just not humid. Okay? Not a lot of humidity going on at all. Maybe even inching towards dryness. So, the dew points right now in the season where we are definitely slightly below 60. I live in a climate that's like pretty warm most of the year. Like I'm wearing like it's winter time and I'm wearing a t-shirt. Like I this is for decoration mostly. I could just wear the t-shirt. It's not cold. It's cool but not cold, right? So the dew points are around 50 to 55, something like that. Not humid. So I can't just walk outside and test it like a normal humidity test like I could do in like the spring or the summer or early fall or something like that. So what I did to test this is I decided to shower without a shower cap, to close the door on my little tiny bathroom to get it really fogged up in there and to kind of almost laze about and move real slow so I could get as much time. Even going as far as to go in, I think on one of the days I went in when my husband was showering and closed the door and brushed my teeth so I would be in there exposing my hair. So the clip that I have to show you guys is after 3 no shower cap showers. Okay, just getting in there. Um, I will say, in my opinion, that I don't think my hair budged too much from the results that I got on initial day one. So yes, it dried with frizz. It still has that same level of like somewhat definition, somewhat frizz several days later, but I don't think it reacted very much to the humidity of being in that small bathroom with all the doors closed and all that kind of stuff. So it seems to be that it'll be likely that if I were in the more humid time here, that you could probably use this gel and get away with it. Um, I will say that after I slept on my hair and it kind of packed down a little bit, I think it did look better. The afro swooped in like the hero that she is and saved me. In fact, after it packed down a bit, my husband was like, "Oh, that's really cute. Like, up close it's the curls, far away it's a little afro. It's really cute." So it did look cute. It was wearable, but I think it's just not the style that I was going for. And also, if I was long hair Kayla in the past, I don't think that this would have come in to save me. I probably would have had to put my hair in like a puff or something like that. So if you have longer hair, I don't know, girl. I don't know. The short hair, I can always default back onto an afro, and it's gonna look cute every time. So getting into my like final overall thoughts, let's go back to those claims, and I'll tell you how many of those claims I actually found to be true for myself. So firm hold, I would say, yeah, it had a cast and all that, but I'm going to say no, just because it didn't really produce the definition. Like as I was combing my hair, it was actively being frizzy and not going into definition. So I'm going to take the firm hold off. Long lasting definition, no, because I didn't start with definition. Frizz control, no, because I had frizzy hair in the beginning. But we did have shine, check mark on that. There was never any flaking, no buildup. I feel like I could really pack this on and it would not be a problem. So we're going to give it a check for that. And then we also are going to give it a check for humidity resistance because it did not react to the shower situation where I was testing it. So half and half. Three things I would say no, and three things that I would say yes. Um, Rinsing this product, I will add as like another positive note is that it rinsed very much like a botanical gel would. Very much, which is part of the reason why I like the botanical gel so much because of how well they rinse off of the hair. So it rinsed really lovely. And I got better results with this gel when I went back and I cocktailed it. I did not follow the directions. Okay, so I used the Weedod, most I used curl foam. Then I went and used the Doux very generously, put a little bit of water over the top of it to help with distribution, and then I topped it with the Emba Naturals original topper. This is that wash and go. I did it yesterday, so the hair is a little, what, 1 day old at this point. It's a much better look. It feels better on the hair. Of course, it has shine. It had shine when I used it alone, but for me and mine, I'm going to finish this product by cocktailing it in wash and go combos with other products. It just worked better and it just looks better. And I know that it's going to last a whole lot better than using it the way that it was directed on the directions. Honestly, I feel like some of the people who have gotten good results with this, I think it is because they are doing what they want to do. They're putting a leave in, they're doing whatever, and that's why they're getting such great results with this gel. Whereas other people who like me who are trying to follow the directions, they're getting what they're getting. So if you like my product reviews, I'm going to actually put some other reviews up here for you to check out. And if you like getting discounts and deals, if you scroll to the bottom of my description box, there is a link there to all of my codes and links and da da da. It's there in every single video. Go check that out. Subscribe. I post videos every week, and I will talk to you in the next one.